Hello everyone, I'm in a different location today because today I am making bread. Yes, and I'm making this bread in honor of everyone's favourite bread boy, PEETA MELLARK. Obviously, there's been a huge Hunger Games renaissance on TikTok, on all social media platforms really, and I'm definitely here for it. I love the Hunger Games and I recently forced my mum to rewatch them all with me, and so now I thought, why not make some bread? I haven't made bread in years. I once made sourdough that wasn't very nice. I'm hoping it will go well this time. I don't know. I'm planning on making bread rolls. I've got this recipe up on my phone. It's from a website called Australia's Best Recipes, so I hope it is good. If it is good though, the link will be in the description if you'd also like to make this bread. But I have my ingredients. I kind of planned out, ready to go. I've got a bowl of flour that I sifted. I have a tiny little bowl of salt and sugar ready to go in. I've got my yeast, and here's the problem that I'm facing. I don't know if it's going to be a big problem or if it's fine, but this packet of yeast is 7 grams, and on the website it says I need 8 grams, but they didn't have 8-gram packets, so we're gonna make do with 7. I'm going to mix all my dry ingredients together like it says. So I've got my sifted flour and my salt and sugar. I'm just gonna put that in there, and my yeast. And I don't know if you're meant to like activate the yeast or if this is activated already. I'm not sure. This is my first time making bread. But it just says to put all the dry ingredients in, and this is a dry ingredient. So in it goes. Oh, hello. There's my dog. She's on the floor. You can't see her. I'm busy, Phoebe. I'll show her to you later because she's the cutest dog alive. Oh, I have a dilemma. This is the problem that I'm having. In the ingredients, it says I need a teaspoon of milk, which is fine, except it doesn't say when to add the milk. Do I put it in the thing? Do I brush the milk over the top? Like, it's a teaspoon of milk. What am I doing with that? Is it going in the thing? Okay, so it's time for the 5 tablespoons of oil. And then I'm gonna mix it. I don't know what to mix it with. A spatula? I'm not too sure. So while I'm mixing this, I thought we could have a chat about Hunger Games, everyone's favorite dystopian show / book series. Now, I haven't done a Hunger Games reread in like ever. I think I only just read it when I was in primary school, and I never picked it up again, and I feel like it's time for the reread. I feel like I'm missing out because I barely remember what happened that was different in the books and the movies, because anytime I wanted to reconsume Hunger Games content, I would just watch the movies. So I think it's time for a reread. When I first read Hunger Games, I did the same thing that I did with Divergent, and I read the first 2 books in the series, and then I just watched the movie for the 3rd one, which I feel like is a big mistake on my part because I didn't get any of like hijacked PEETA in book perspective, and I feel like I need to go back and reread it. So I might do like a reading vlog soon of rereading the series, going back to it for like the first time in like nearly a decade. This doesn't look great. Oh my gosh, speaking of not seeing another thing in book form, Finnick's death. So I just watched Mockingjay Part 2, I think like 2 nights ago now, so it's still pretty fresh in my mind. And how traumatizing was Finnick's death. I don't know if I could handle reading it. Also, I do want to reread the series so that I can get to A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I haven't read that yet, but I'm so excited for the movie to come out. I think it's in November. Obviously, I need to read the book beforehand, so perfect timing that everyone is reading and watching the books and movies again. Now I need 300 milliliters of lukewarm water, but it's actually freezing right now. It has just turned autumn in Australia and it is so cold. That's why I broke out the long sleeve. I'm freezing. The water's going to be really cold in the sink, so I'm going to have to stand there a while and wait for it to warm up. Okay, so I've got my 300 milliliters of lukewarm water, and it says to add it in slowly, so I'm just going to do little bits at a time and give it a mix. So while I'm mixing, I would like to tell you about my current read, well, the book that I just finished really. I actually finished reading it last night, It was Crushing by Genevieve Novak, which I hauled recently in my last video. It was so good. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, I will give like a full in-depth review at the end of April in my April wrap-up, but just know that that book was so good. And if you are in Australia and you are watching this video on the day that it is posted, you still have time to enter the giveaway that I'm hosting right now on the Book Talk Book Club, which is a giveaway of that book. So I would recommend you enter. I'll link the book club's Instagram down below, and the image of that should be like somewhere near the top of the feed. I'm not too sure. I don't know if this is how it's supposed to be looking. I don't know if you can even see that, but I mean, it doesn't look appetizing. I'm a bit worried, just a little bit. Again, back on the Hunger Games thing, obviously because this video is dedicated to PEETA, we will be talking about Hunger Games, that will be expected. But I saw this TikTok of like someone who made like embroidered jumpers, and they were just, yes, Phoebe? Okay. They embroidered jumpers, and there was this one that they did that said like Mellark Bakery District 12, and I was like, I want that jumper. They had a Finnick one as well, so I want a jumper. I would get the bakery one. I think they look so cool. This looks now a bit too watery. Have I done something wrong? Before it was too crumbly, now it looks too watery. What am I doing? What am I doing? This is when it would be useful to have a KitchenAid. I used to be obsessed with cooking shows. I would constantly watch Bake Off of any country really, but like I was obsessed. I used to love watching Mary Berry's cooking show, literally all the cooking shows. I would sit in my parents' room and I would watch them all, and I always wanted like a pastel pink KitchenAid, but I thought like, when would I ever use it? Now would be the perfect time with that dough hook. Perfect. But I'm gonna get the arm work out. This is tiring. How do the bakers do it? How does PEETA do it? Oh my gosh, every time I think about like the bakery though and PEETA, it makes me like cry. He burnt the bread on purpose and risked getting his mum angry at him just so he could give it to Katniss. What a sweetie pie, and they didn't even really know each other then. Mom, I'm struggling. Can you help me mix? My arms are sore. It's not, I'm actually in pain. And it's not, it says mix until firm dough. That doesn't look firm to me. So I've added more flour and I think it's looking a little better. It looks a bit more like the photos that my mum showed me just now, but I don't really know what I'm doing, if you couldn't already tell. Okay, I think I'm going to start kneading it now. Oh gosh, it's sticking. It's sticking. Also, I would just like to say I'm on uni break right now, and this is how I choose to spend my first full day on break, making bread. I hope it is good. I've kneaded for 11 minutes, so I'm wondering, like, do I segment it now and put it into rolls and then let it rise when it's in the roll shape? Or do I put it in the bowl to rise and then cut it into roll shapes? I'm thinking maybe I'll do the roll shapes because that's what it does say on the recipe. So I guess I'll follow the recipe. So I've just made my 8 rolls. I'm going to go cover them with a tea towel so they can rise for 30 minutes. I'll set my timer and then we'll meet back here and see how it goes so they're ready to go in the oven. I'm going to show you my dog now because I'm sure you've all been waiting patiently to see her. Here she is, the cutest dog in the world. We love her. Her name is Phoebe. She is half dachshund, half poodle. And she's a cutie, aren't you? Look at her. Look at that face. Look at that face. I left them for more than 30 minutes, but they have like doubled in size, especially that one. It's quite large. And there we go. I'm gonna put them in the oven. The oven's at 200 degrees Celsius, and I'm gonna leave them for 35 minutes. The rolls are out of the oven. They are quite crunchy on the top. So I'm in the dark. I'm not sure if they're gonna taste good. I hope they are. I'm gonna put it with some butter and then hopefully like when it's all hot and melty, it'd be nice. But I am a tad nervous. I'm hoping it'll be good because they weren't like too hard to make. Okay, so the rolls are finished. Crunchy on the top. I don't know if they are fully cooked in the middle, but I'm going to cut it open and try it. And I got the butter out, I'm ready to go. But these look pretty good. Let's see. It doesn't really smell like bread. And they look quite dense, but would you say that's cooked? Alrighty. It's a little bit doughy, but not bad.
Is it shit?
No.
It tastes like shit, but you can live on it.
In the Hunger Games, you don't have access to good bread.
It's all right with peanut butter.
I don't like it. You don't like the peanut butter?
It's good.
I like it with peanut butter.
Not wasting calories, the bread's pretty crappy.
I got out the jam to try it like a scone, and I'll see how it goes. I put on the jam, and in case you were wondering, this is raspberry jam because it's the better jam. Better than strawberry, because strawberry is quite sour. They need to know. Okay, so that was my bread making. I enjoyed the process, but I don't know if the result was amazing. But it was fun. I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe don't try this exact bread recipe because, as my parents said, it wasn't delicious. I thought it was alright, but oh well. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more videos from me. And I will see you next week with a new video.